Hey everyone, welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. As you can see here, we're standing right in front of Electro Hypostasis, and today we're going to be talking about this world boss, why you should kill him, what he drops, where to find him, and what his mechanics are. So as you can see here, he's found right between Didalpa Gorge and Cape Oath, and for the low cost of 40 resin, you can get all sorts of character ascension materials, like the Viraja Amethyst Sliver, and obviously the higher level this boss is, he'll drop higher tier materials like the fragments and so on. He also drops a number of different artifacts that you could use that are pretty decent. They're around blue and green tier, so it's really worth finding him and trying to kill this boss.
Everyone is working super hard. We should be...
So we're going to fly right in here, and at the beginning you could see he's going to open up a little bit, but you'll notice as we attack him with Fischl, he's not taking damage, because unless his core is completely exposed, your attacks don't actually do damage. Now, he just did this little combination. It's a fist into scissors into paper, so we're going to call this the rock, paper, scissors combo. Pretty easy to dodge. There are telegraphs on the ground for the last two. Later on, he can turn into a drill and do that drill attack. Again, relatively slow and easy to dodge, unless you're a melee character and happen to be right in front of him when he does it, so be careful if you're playing melee. Now, that attack actually does do a decent amount of damage if you are under geared, so be careful because even though it looks easy to dodge, if you do get hit, it's quite punishing. Now, his core is exposed, we're going to go in with Kaya, get the superconduct off, but now the cubes are back, and so we need to be a little bit more careful.
What's the hurry?
So this is another mechanic we want to talk about. As you can see here, he just splits up and then shoots lasers out into the perimeter of the arena. Now, his core is exposed in the middle, and you can jump in and attack him during this phase, but as you can see there, the cubes will snap back in, and when he does that, it'll knock you up and do some pretty chunky damage, so let's be careful with that. That move right there was where his cubes will form a wall on either side and then clap together in front of him. That one, again, pretty easy to dodge even if you're playing melee, just sprint away, and that'll miss most of the time. After every mechanic, his core is exposed for you to get some of that free damage in before the cubes circle back around. So you'll notice that in this fight, we're actually doing a lot of running, and this is because it's a pretty movement-intensive fight, and there's only certain areas of opportunity where his core is exposed. So this mechanic here is a little bit like a bullet hell. If you're on the outer edge of the attack, you can kind of sprint around in one direction, but eventually that becomes too slow and you do have to snake your way back into the middle to optimize your uptime and get the most damage out of it.
What's the hurry?
Again here, a lot of his mechanics are repeating. We're seeing rock, paper, scissors here. We're just dodging around with Kaya. It's not too hard. Especially if you have a hero with healing and sustain like Barbara or Bennett, this fight becomes really doable even if you're under-leveled or under-geared, because you can just run around during the downtime and just heal up. Now, what you'll see here is actually pretty unlucky. This is an attack that you should be able to dodge normally. He drops down these pillars that'll form a cage, and then when you're inside, all you have to do is just dodge these ground telegraphed AoEs. It's pretty simple, but unfortunately as we were trying to run away, one of the pillars appeared right in front of us and blocked us. This mechanic is actually really good if you have more than one player fighting the boss at a time, so for co-op, if you have friends, it's really easy because when he's doing this mechanic, his core is completely exposed and it could be outside of the cage. So one person gets caged and the other person's outside just wailing on the boss that whole time. In the event that the cage spawns around his core, you can attack the core while trying to dodge those ground AoEs. So right now, he's just going to be repeating those mechanics that we've talked about before. He's around maybe 10-15% here, so we're going to get him low enough to see the final mechanic pretty soon. And he's got another one of these phases where he'll spread out the cubes and then shoot them at you really slowly. This is just a run and dodge mechanic, so nothing really to worry about here. We're going to run around a little bit. He's going to do the laser thing again. We got unlucky and just ran into one there. We tried to do a run here where we took less damage, so as you can tell we're playing a little bit more conservatively, but you can play however you want, with whatever team comp you want. This boss isn't so hard that you need specific heroes to clear it, so ultimately it's a very accessible way to farm for most players. Now, as you can see here, we're getting towards that 5% mark where he's about to die, and then we're going to show you his final mechanic. So right here, you see he's summoned these 3 triangle crystals around the center of the arena, and so these, as you can tell, can only be hit by elemental damage. So your basic attacks won't do anything, and this is very important because if you're not able to kill one, like we missed that last one, you'll see his HP bar increased a significant amount. For each piece you can't kill, he regenerates 15% HP, so if you can't kill all 3 of them, he'll go back up to 50%, which is a hassle. For this reason, if you are under geared and maybe have less damage than you should, we recommend blowing all of your cooldowns, saving it for that last phase, and just committing to killing 1 or 2 of the circles, because, as you can see here, we've got him down to 5% again, and only 1 of the circles have spawned. So for each one you kill, every time you go back down and he repeats this mechanic, then that orb won't spawn the next time he does it. So once you kill all 3 orbs, the boss fight is over. You can spend Primo Gems to restore resin, or just use the resin that you have, and then we're going to open up these ley lines and collect some of our materials. So as you can see here, we've got the pocket watch, some of the character ascension, they're all blue to green tiers, so this is pretty good. And we were able to solo it, so if we can do it, you definitely can as well. Again, this fight's probably going to be easier if you have somebody with a little bit of sustain, a little bit of healing, but in case you don't, just be a little bit more careful, play a little bit safer, and make sure you dodge all of his attacks, and it should be easily soloable for everyone, as this is one of the first world bosses you'll be fighting. So, Official's pretty happy about that. The sun is shining on us, and we are really happy we were able to kill this boss and put together this video for you guys. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. If you want to see more Exo Heroes or Genshin Impact's content, we're definitely going to have more on the way, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.